Hello there, you're now with me, Hendy Gui, and welcome to your 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Let's dive into the headlines for today. March 8, International Women's Day, or IWD, with the theme Break the Bias, is a global day of celebration to celebrate the cultural, political and socio-economical achievements of women and girls. This year's celebration takes place against the backdrop of the ongoing global pandemic and emerging new strains. Nevertheless, it is important to note that women are breaking barriers and achieving the impossible every single day. And to commemorate the day, we have asked few successful working women to share their insights. Let's take a look.
Becoming the first female colorectal surgeon in Sarawak certainly tough and warrants strong will to do so. But I believe for any woman out there, and especially for young doctors who wanted to do the same, anything is possible. For me, I believe that empowering and training the young doctors to do the same and also to succeed in their career is certainly vital.
Meanwhile, Esther Law, founder and chairlady of YAS Group, believes that to empower others, we must first lead by example.
I'm a strong believer that each and every one of us should lead by example. Lead with hearts is my life formula. I lead by hugging, inclusivity. I hug people into my life. The second keyword is E. I encourage myself all the time before I can encourage others. Positive mindset is important. A. Appreciate. I appreciate myself first before I can appreciate others. Therefore, I must take care of myself well before I can take care of other people. And that R is reach out. Reach out means I learn, I do, I share. That is the formula of reaching out. I do believe lead my life through touching people's life as many as we can. Through the S, sincerity. Lead with hearts. My life formula.
At the same time, gender bias against women remains significant to this day, and Shana Sabri, the founder of Prodigy, is of the opinion that women should find their own achievement and satisfaction of success despite their generation's trajectory.
Today is a beautiful moment for us to reflect and to celebrate women empowerment globally. Together, we can contribute in support of women's rights economically, politically, socially, and culturally. This year's theme is Break the Bias against women at the workplace, at home, and in school. For us to achieve this, we must break the biases that have become a standard practice.
Meanwhile, Sarah Nadia, an entrepreneur, shared her difficult journey in which she eventually became victorious.
I felt my first true success when all the hard work our team put into were realized. I felt it again when we formed our beauty care business and our brands were recognized. But all that came with a price. We went through a lot of pain, a lot of tears, a lot of hardships, but those are all learning curves that we have to forego to get to the destination that we want to be. I have always been intrigued by the quote, "Here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them." Firstly, I'd like to wish all mothers, sisters, daughters, and my girlfriends and colleagues a momentous International Women's Day.
So to all the women out there, speak up, create your path to your own goals and happiness. Speak up. Your voice needs to be heard in a true, authentic expression. Break the bias. Happy International Women's Day.
To all women worldwide, I wish you a happy International Women's Day. Together, we break the bias.
For all the women out there in Sarawak especially, Happy International Women's Day 2022. Believe that you can. Thank you.
Now, the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, guarantees that there will be no legal obstacle or restriction for the group to advance in the future. And thus, women in Sarawak should be more confident and fearless in pursuing their goals to achieve their success.
Abang Johari, whose text speech was read by Minister of Women, Early Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dato Sri Fatimah Abdullah, said that any form of restriction should be removed so that it does not cause any hindrances in the progress of women in various fields.
Sebagai Ketua Kerajaan GPS, saya ingin menegaskan bahawa Kerajaan GPS sentiasa berpegang kepada prinsip pemerkasaan wanita kerana wanita merupakan salah satu tonggak pembangunan yang amat penting merangkumi segala aspek pembangunan negeri dan negara. Terbukti Kerajaan GPS mempunyai kesungguhan dalam mengangkat martabat wanita apabila memasukkan komitmen untuk memperkasakan penglibatan wanita dalam pembangunan Sarawak dalam manifesto GPS pada pilihan raya negeri ke-12 yang lepas.
As such, the ministry will continue to pursue gender equality in public and private sectors.
Khususnya kepimpinan wanita di sektor awam dan sektor korporat, dan usaha akan diteruskan supaya satu hari nanti kaum wanita boleh duduk sama rendah dan berdiri sama tinggi dengan kaum lelaki seperti yang dijanjikan dalam manifesto TVS, insya-Allah.
The role of women is vital in the government's efforts in moving forward to become a developed state by 2030.
The Premier of Sarawak apologized for his absence at the state-level Women's Day held in Miri this morning after he was tested positive for COVID-19. Initially, the matter was confirmed by Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Minister, Dato Sri Fatimah Abdullah, who was representing Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg at the event. According to an official statement from the Office of the Premier of Sarawak, Abang Johari had developed mild symptoms since Monday, March 7, and is currently undergoing home quarantine for 5 days.
Saya ingin menyampaikan salam kemaafan daripada Yang Amat Berhormat Tan Sri Datuk Patinggi Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman, Premier Sarawak. Kami menerima berita pada jam 9 malam tadi bahawa beliau tidak dapat hadir untuk merasmikan majlis kita pada pagi ini kerana beliau telah disahkan positif COVID-19.
Fatimah apologized on behalf of the Premier of Sarawak for not being able to attend and officiate a ceremony scheduled this morning. Fatimah said this in her speech during the Sarawak Women's Day 2022 celebration. In the meantime, she also took the opportunity to call upon the public to pray for Abang Johari's speedy recovery.
Thank you for staying with me. Now, today's date, the 8th of March, marks the 8th-year anniversary of the mysterious disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, which went missing from the Beijing-bound flight from Kuala Lumpur. To this date, the disappearance remains one of the world's biggest mystery, leaving the whole world clueless. Former Director General of the Malaysian Civil Aviation Department DCA, Dato Sri Azharuddin Abdul Rahman, said the early hours of March 8, 2014 still haunts him to this date.
8 years have passed, yet many questions on the mysterious disappearance of MH370 are still left unanswered. Families of the 239 flight crew and passengers of the missing aircraft are still waiting for an answer to their tragic losses. The discovery of debris near the waters southwest of the African coast, believed to be from MH370's wings and fuselage, raises questions on how the aircraft could deviate far from its original intended course. Sharing his experience of handling the largest tragedy in the history of aviation, Azharuddin said the loss of MH370 was a bitter experience and the memory still scared him to this date.
Pada awal pagi 8 Mac 2014, sebab saya bangun pagi untuk solat dan saya dapati dari telefon saya banyaklah miss call dan juga message dan semuanya mengatakan bahawa kehilangan pesawat, macam mana boleh hilang dan inilah, dan saya tak dapat untuk baca semuanya, baca apa daripada pegawai saya yang mengatakan bahawa kita telah hilang satu pesawat MH300 Boeing 77 yang terbang daripada KLIA ke Beijing. Sepatutnya pagi itu pergi kenduri kahwin anak saya, jadi tak dapatlah. Sebabnya saya rasa ini pada baca semua itu, saya rasa ini ada satu insiden yang amat besar, yang lain pada lain, dan saya bergegas mandi, siap minum segelas kopi dan terus pergi ke Sama-Sama Hotel. Sebabnya saya perlu ada di Sama-Sama Hotel untuk sidang akhbar yang pertama.
Azharuddin said the first press conference at Sama-Sama Hotel on March 8, 2014 is still fresh in his memories, with hundreds of officials and media gathered at the hotel's auditorium.
Bila kita masuk sahaja Dewan Auditorium Sama-Sama Hotel tu, berderau jugalah di rumah. Bukannya berpuluh orang media, beratus dengan kamera berpuluh klik, kita pun berpinau lah, apa nak ingat apa yang kita bagi tahu lagi, apa terjadi kepada pesawat tersebut. Memang tak tahulah, memang nak katakan apa-apa pun macam mimpi pun ada je.
Various conspiracy theories flooded the web, claiming to know the reason behind the missing aircraft MH370. Multiple efforts and theories have been presented to track the Malaysian aircraft, but to this day, to no avail. The last words of the captain of Malaysian Airlines flight MH370, Captain Zahari Ahmakir Shah, saying goodnight Malaysian 370, are still clear in the mind of Datuk Sri Azharuddin Abdul Rahman, as it was the last known communication coming from the missing plane. Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 disappeared from radar on March 8, 2014, while on a scheduled flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, China, with 239 passengers on board.
And that concludes the 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Before I go, I would like to wish all women a happy International Women's Day. I'm Hendy Gui, stay safe and have a pleasant day.